Today is the day, oh, today is the day, oh, today is the day, oh, today is the day, oh. Okay, I'm back at it again, this time stronger than ever. Yes, even with the current situation on coronavirus. So, what are my thoughts? I have no thoughts. At first, actually, that's not true. I do have thoughts. At first, I was just like, oh yeah, this is just like an isolated incident in China. But then at the same time, I was like, whoa, China is like a super big, important country with like multiple people living there. Like, I felt for like the Chinese citizens and all that stuff, right? But then in my mind, I was like, yeah, it's just gonna stay there, right? Then slowly it started boiling over, and then it's like, oh my gosh, like, these are the people from different places of the world are finally getting, like, and I was like, okay, yeah, but that's like that part of the world, it's not gonna creep into wherever I am. And then it started spreading across Europe, and I'm like, yeah, these people are bananas. How are they like sweeping out like supermarkets and all these things? I'm like, it's not, I don't know. It just seemed quite frantic, and I'm like, you don't even have it. Why are you behaving like this? And then, I mean, like, I have people who live in different parts of the world, so like you're all communicating about like different experiences, or you're hearing about other people, like people that you have in common and their experiences, be it first hand or second hand or whatever hand. And then you're just like, oh my gosh, this is bananas. Like the whole toilet paper thing, I'm just like, I just don't get it. How much toilet paper are you guys using in your house? Like, what? Then it later comes down to Italy shutting down, and you're like, what? A whole country has shut down, like for real guys, for real. And then it's like, yep, other countries are going to also start doing the same thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like whatever is going on is just crazy. Like, I'm just coming to grips with this whole flu-like thing around the news is just hitting me, and then on top of that, all this extraness, all this, it's like just so sudden, and it's like daily news reports and everything. And then a part of me was like, maybe it's not gonna reach now another region where I have people, and it's like, yeah, we already have problems with locusts there and flooding and all that jazz. So there's no way this can be put on our plate, right? And then, well, what do you know? It's put on our plate, and I'm like, my goodness, you can't assume anything. But my thing about this whole crazy thing, so it finally came to Canada. And then you're hearing in BC, oh yeah, there are these number of cases. And then in Ontario, there are these number of cases. And then schools are closing. And then daycares are closing. And then now crazy, like banks are sending you messages. What else? Internet companies, almost all service providers, major service providers are sending you like emails. And I'm like, okay, this is just like crazy. And I was like, I'm still eerily calm about this whole situation, and it's not coming from a place where I'm like ignorant of what is happening in the world, but I just feel like I couldn't like come, like, I just feel like the fear, it's like fear mongering, and it's just like contagious somehow. And I'm like, I'm just not on that bandwagon. I feel secure because I feel like there's a bigger picture here involved. And first of all, not even because there's a bigger picture. First of all, I don't know. I just feel like there's a peace that, the Lord has given me about this whole situation, and acceptance about it. And number two, I'm like, what is the bigger picture? Fear can't be the thing that's ruling my life as far as this disease is concerned, or as far as this pandemic is concerned. What is the bigger picture here? Like, it's like the important things that are important to me in life now suddenly are put front and center. So like there's this whole issue of like quarantining and self-isolation. And then now you start thinking about, okay, fine, so how are bills gonna be paid in our homes? If how you gonna pay mortgage, how you gonna pay rent, how you gonna pay like for utilities and stuff if you're self-isolated? Like, are employers catering to that? Is the government catering to that? Like, like our main concern shouldn't just be like, oh, the superficial things. It should also be like the deeper things. And then other than that, like family, who is important, friends who are important, like finally, like you start seeing all these things that are important to you or important for your daily functioning coming into question. So like moving forward from this, it's like even when you're seeking employment opportunities, the next time this thing comes out, like you need to make sure like you're covered and that you have good benefits. And generally, like you should be very hygienic and mindful of others in public and private environments. And also like what was my other concern? Like how prepared you are, not only for things like pandemics, but in terms of anything in life, like an untimely death or an unfortunate accident, or like how are you preparing for your future? How are you preparing for emergencies? Like now it's like if you're broke, like you're probably gonna be completely stressed out, and like who's gonna bail you out? Is the government gonna bail you out? Is your employer gonna bail you out? If yes, and you're lucky to be in those solutions, like great. But then if you aren't, like what are the other things? I don't know. There are just so many things. But even on the spiritual side, like let's say you get the thing, or or something unfortunate happens. It's like, is your faith gonna be rocked by this thing? Are you ready to meet your maker if that's like your destiny, if I should say so? How ready are you? And that really made me think about the parable of like the 5 wise virgins and the 5 foolish virgins. And I'm like, I wonder in this situation what kind of a lady I fall under. And at the same time, I'm like, can I trust God through everything? Even when the world is kind of like burning up, am I still gonna trust God, or am I going to like be a part of the fear mongers and frantic people who are just going any which way, doing any which thing just because it's like the trend? Or am I gonna trust God to provide for my family, to keep us safe no matter what the outcome is? There's a much bigger picture to this whole pandemic, and I hope that it opens up people's eyes in terms of even like your state of being. Like, repentance is key, not just because, oh, I might die, but then it's like none of these things happen out of the blue. It's just not a coincidence. And I'm not even going to delve into any conspiracies because I know nothing. Basically, I know nothing. But what I know is like, in this whole situation, what is God trying to tell us? If we don't believe in God, this is a great time, because like, I mean, you ain't got nothing but time. You're in self-isolation probably, or you're soon going to be in self-isolation probably, and you need wisdom to know how to navigate through your world and through your life at this time. So what is my final point? My final point is just, instead of like panicking and being fear-stricken, just pray for wisdom, pray for insight, and pray for knowledge, so that God can help you to know what to do, how to live, how to be in a new situation, and a completely unprepared situation. Because everything you do at this point in life counts. So you guys all stay safe out there, and peace be upon you all.